There's many certainties in life: death, taxes, cute anime girls, and people giving up their New Year's resolution. I'm sure many of you have heard this before. It's the new year, new me, time to change for the better, get in shape. You buy gym clothes, supplements, gear, not that type of gear, and you start hitting the gym regularly. It's going good for a while, and then whoops, look at the time. It's almost June and nothing's changed. Maybe you took a day off and that day turned to weeks, weeks into months, and all of a sudden you stop going altogether. Maybe it's because you lost motivation or you feel stuck because you don't see any progress despite putting in the effort. It's frustrating, I know. I know it all too well. We've all been there, trust me. But it took me 15 years to learn what I know now. So I'm hoping to pass on this sage wisdom to you so that you can avoid the same mistakes and time skip forward to help you unlock your protagonist that's in here somewhere. It is completely understandable to be frustrated with not seeing results, especially if you're a beginner. I think most people, when they start getting into fitness, aspire to look a certain way. This applies to people who have been training for a long time as well, myself included. We get inspired by someone and we work hard to achieve their physique. So, you try your best to copy what they do. You find a program online promising similar results. You do what you can, but at the end of it, your body looks nowhere closer to your ideal goal. And I think this problem lies in how people view training and results, is that we do not see beyond what our inspirations show on camera, the iceberg effect, if you will. And this misconception makes sense. On social media, we're constantly bombarded with bodies that look chiseled out of stone or photoshopped, and we come across a sea of videos saying, oh, if you follow this, you will look like me. And I think everyone sort of knows this already, that you have to train like your inspirations to get a body like theirs. But there's so much more underneath that you do not see. A wise man once said, training is like an onion. It has layers. There's form, training history, genetics, diet, how long they spend in the gym, how many days per week they go, how hard they train. The list goes on. And if you take a look at me, for example, I may look relatively fit now, but if you compare how I used to look, it's night and day. And I'm not saying to not use influencers, video game characters, anime characters as inspiration. When I started, I wanted to be like Goku, RP Toriyama. And now when I watch Zoro lift heavy weights with a dumbbell in his mouth, it makes me want to do the same thing. Watching these inspirations push their limits, become stronger, strive to be better versions of themselves, can instill the same qualities in us. That's why we want to be like them. But you cannot expect to look like them anytime soon, even if you do put 1,000% into it. It takes huge amounts of effort, time, mental fortitude, patience, and maybe a little bit of sauce to get bodies like those. Way more than a training cutscene, that's for sure. And not everyone is built for that. You also have to keep in mind who knows what influencers do off camera and what they don't tell you. The only thing you could be certain of is yourself and the work that you are putting in. Yet there are still plenty of beginners who give up within half a year or so because they don't see results right away. Just look at how empty the gym is around March or so. And with any skill or field of knowledge, it takes consistent time and effort to master. Take Elden Ring, for example. Sure, you could watch someone fight Melania and think, wow, that looks easy enough. You just gotta dodge and hit. But then you try the game for yourself, and then you realize you can't even get past Tree Sentinel. But that's okay. No one expects a complete beginner to excel at anything on their first try unless you're a god or something. And with Elden Ring, you could practice all you want. You could get really good at the game. But not everyone is aiming for soul level 1 hitless naked speedruns. I'm fine with that. That is too much for me and probably for most people. And beginners need to come to terms with this. You will only get results based off the amount of effort you put in. Sometimes we get a little bit lost in the sauce, dreaming of the end goal and forgetting the steps that we need to get there. Fitness, health, self improvement, they're endless pursuits. So take your time, break the end goal into small, digestible pieces, and then work from there. Gamify them if you need to. Bring out your inner Saitama or Sun Jin-woo and hit your daily quest. Pick any exercise that you enjoy doing. Brisk walk for an hour, bench press 225, and if you want to do 100 push-ups like Saitama but can't, break that down too. 10 sets of 10, 5 sets of 20, 4 sets of 25, 2 sets of 50, and so on. See, it's all about structure and planning. Often when people start working out, they think monkey mode, after school, hit gym, hit weights. I know this because I did the same thing when I was in high school. But I didn't see actual results until I used my brain to plan out my exercises. Don't just pencil in your workout sessions like some meeting you don't give two shits about. Plan with intent. The key word, intent. That way, when you work out, it'll be more efficient and effective. And I understand we all have things going on in our lives. Work, school, social life if you have any, anime, games, beating your meat. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you not to do any of this stuff. I'm not a self-improvement guru who tells you to abstain from all pleasures and be a robot. As long as you have self-control and you get things done, if you want to beat your meat, go ahead. But I will say this. If you want to make changes in your life, sacrifices must be made. And your health should not be one of them. There's no easy mode, no shortcut, especially if you are not financially free and are hard stuck bronze in life. So take a look at how you spend your day. Measure the most important things in your life and then slot in the time for you to exercise. Make it an effort to work out at a designated time, at a designated day, and have a game plan when you get there. Then sooner or later, it will be as natural as you wiping your ass after you shit. Unless you have a bidet. And don't think I don't see you playing Genshin every day, doing the same commissions for 60 Primo Gems. If you have time for that, you have time to do your fitness dailies too. Your waifu can wait. Okay, but now I hear some of you saying, oh, now it's so much information. My friend says to do that. This YouTuber says to do this, and stop. Yes. Yes, I know. There's a lot of workout information out there and videos for you to watch as you progress. I too am a partial perfectionist. I have trouble posting or even finishing a chapter unless the previous sequence is perfect. And yes, I know it's bad for the workflow. But for you, you are a little larva, a little bee. You do not need 100% of your brain power unlocked to start training. Keep your workout knowledge simple. Your goal is to build consistency and train with good intent, not to be Jimmy Neutron. That means you should be focused on how to lift, not just what to lift. So here are a few golden rules for you to get started, in no particular order, and I will try to keep it brief for the sake of time. Golden rule number 1. You should focus on mastering your form and technique. Improper form and technique means poor execution, which leads to improper force generation and utilization of the target muscle, and increases risk of injury. Golden rule number 2. Compound lifts over isolation work. You should be doing both, but compound lifts are more efficient since they use multiple muscle groups at once. and they're typically done first in your workout since they demand more energy. Here's a list of compound exercises. Golden rule number 3: hit each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week. I thought this was common knowledge until one of my gym friends came up and asked me about it. So, there you go. But to add on top of that, you should be doing 12 to 20 working sets per muscle group per week. This does not include warm ups. For example, chest. You should be doing 12 to 20 sets of chest exercises per week. So if it could be whatever, it could be 12 sets of bench press for the entire week. But remember, that does not include warm ups. And lastly, golden rule number 4: you have to train at high enough intensities. You do not need to die after every session at the gym, unless you want to. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Some of you may already think you do this, but it takes a lot of trial and error for you to actually figure it out. There are multiple methods of measuring intensities, but for now, here are 2 quick ones. The first one is reps in reserve, or RIR. That is how many reps you have left in the tank in a given set. You should aim for 3 RIR for beginners, and as you get better, aim for 0 to 3. For example, here's a video of me squatting 245 for 5 reps. I probably only had 1 or 2 reps left in the tank, but notice how my form wasn't looking too clean in the last rep. And this is key. Do not go overboard. Only keep going if you are certain you can maintain form. If you can't, I like to save that energy for the next set. This is especially important for beginners because if you hurt yourself, you're going to ruin your progress and motivation even further. And then the second method of measuring intensity, as goofy as it sounds, is facial expression. If your face is not straining or looking like it's about to pop towards the end of your set and you are not a robot, you could probably go a little harder. That's not to say you have to be like screaming your head off like one of those people at the gym. You just have to feel the strain in your face towards the end of your set. Now, I could go more in depth with these topics in a future video, so let me know if you're interested. Okay, but some of you may be saying that you've done all that already, that you've taken every piece of advice you can get, but whatever you do, it doesn't work. You've tried as hard as you can, and you're just stumped, stuck, completely lost, and you don't know what to do anymore. And to that I say, every good protagonist has their moments of weakness. You and I are not perfect divine beings or 2D characters. I will not sugarcoat it. You will relapse and eat like shit some days. You will hit plateaus and wonder what it's all for. There will be moments where you just want to lay in bed, stare at the ceiling while listening to After Dark, the slowed version. Shit happens. I know how it feels. You're not alone. Life can wear us down. It's perfectly normal to hit a wall and question yourself, thinking it would just be easier to give up. I think about that for many things: my writing, my job, my art. Sometimes it feels like whatever you do, it's not good enough, and the idea of dying without accomplishing anything meaningful in your life weighs in the back of your mind. Right? But giving up these dreams, these goals, and aspirations is something I don't want to do. Growth in anything is not linear. The journey will be bumpy and there will be ceiling caps. It is inevitable, and you need to come to terms with it. Remember the Elden Ring example. You can play as much as you want and get as good as possible, but not everyone has it in them to be let me solo her. And what I say here, it's not to deter you from trying. I think many people tend to underestimate how high their ceiling actually is. I've had many clients as a personal trainer never imagined that they could deadlift 135 pounds or bench press their own body weight for reps. And they might have never done it if they didn't try. For my own hobbies, I would work really hard on a art piece or a book chapter. I'd post it to get minimal likes and comments, sometimes none at all. And I'm not a robot, so yes, it sucks and it does get me down sometimes, often, but it doesn't stop me from trying my best on my next work. So if you're feeling stuck, take a step back, take a breather, reassess your situation, and analyze the details. Check your form, your diet, your intensity level, whatever. I guarantee you there will be something for you to adjust. Just be honest with yourself, push your limits bit by bit, accept the failure, wallow in pain if you need to, but just get up and try again. Remember, you should be viewing fitness as a long journey. Trust the process. Appreciate the small goals you hit along the way. And as corny as it sounds, it's about the journey, not the end result, because the end result is always changing. Once you hit it, the goalpost moves. So just do what you can. Your inner fire may be just embers now, but even embers can reignite to a flame. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I know it was a hard watch. Trust me, I know. That's how I felt when I had to watch it and edit the video. Um, but yeah, do that YouTube jazz. Do like and subscribe. Share the video with someone you think needs to hear this. If you have any thoughts or comments, leave them below. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. And if you have any topics that you want me to discuss, leave those down there as well. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this channel or my life. So there's that. Maybe more fitness stuff, workouts, coaching, or my other hobbies, anime, games, drawing, etc. I don't know. It's up in the air. But, again, thank you for watching. See you next time.